Much like the vast majority of the gaming masses, I too have been completely consumed by Elden Ring, and I'm super happy to say that it is everything I was hoping for and so much more. I think what's so fascinating is that after pouring so many hours into this game, I think it's the most accessible Souls-like adventure so far. You know, you have the Stakes of Marika, which put you right before a boss fight so you can try again without all the super long walks back. You have spirit summons in addition to regular summons to help out. The open world structure is crazy. You can just come back later and go level up. You couldn't really do that much before. And there's runes everywhere, just all over the overworld to level up. But even with all those elements helping you out, I also think this is the hardest Souls-like game yet for those that are really looking for the challenge. Horse combat is such an awesome addition here. I mean, like, in addition to the exploration you can do with Torrent, but even just like fighting bad guys, the closest analog I can think is it kind of feels like having a power-up like Yoshi or something. You know, it's like you can take more hits or you're way more mobile, and it's just like awesome to mow down enemies with this guy. But probably the biggest change is just being able to explore wherever you want. This is a gigantic world and you can go all over the place. If you get stuck and hit a wall, just go. There's always more to explore. Not to mention that FromSoft expanding your map screen not once, but twice is probably the best troll I've ever seen from them. But the overall visual quality and the ability for you to just find these gorgeous little grottos or hidden away alcoves is so unprecedented. I love it. Finding this underground city under the stars by just going down an elevator in my first hour of gameplay, or trying to stealth my way through this crumbling tower where all the enemies can one-shot kill me and I'm trying to make it to the bottom, are moments I'm going to remember forever. I finished the game, and I can't say it's exactly perfect, but after playing, there's one section that just seems to continue to stand out to me the most, and that's what I want to break down today. The lead up to and fight against Starscourge Radahn. Let me just walk you through my experience here. First off, even just when you see Redmane Castle, you know this is a big deal and there's probably some crazy boss at the end, so I wanted to get in there and see it, but even just trying to cross this bridge is an ordeal and I had to sneak around the backside. If you tried to do this, you know how hard this is because there's no graces to rest at. There's just tons and tons of enemies and it's really hard to get through. But then it's really bizarre. Once the portal opens up at the entrance, I don't remember exactly what triggers it. It's like once you reach Altus Plateau or something. You go through this portal and it's a complete change of atmosphere, and that's because the Festival of Radahn has begun, and I don't think I've ever really seen this merry of a tone before in a Souls game. All of these epic combatants have come to face Radahn himself, and it's like a big celebration. They're excited to attempt to try to kill this guy, and it's just so jarring, one, from what the castle was like before, but two, again, just these games are always so like oppressive, and I've never seen something like this where everyone's coming together and they're just happy and joyous, and it's really cool. And then you talk to the guy that can trigger this cutscene of an introduction of Radahn, and this is just absolutely incredible. I mean, he's this epic, insane dude on a tiny, malnourished horse, and this is just, I mean, if you don't think FromSoft has humor, like, this is just the most hilarious thing the first time I saw it. But even as you descend onto the battlefield and enter the arena, it really sets this tone of how intimidating this guy is. And the fight itself is so cool because this is the first time you can summon more than 2 companions to help you, and you can even keep summoning them back forever. There's just like tons of NPCs to come in. All the people that came to join the festival, they can try to help you fight Radahn. And so you've had more help than ever before, but you really need it because this dude still absolutely wrecks you. Also, this is like the perfect Easter egg, but if you summon in patches, he comes in and he sees the boss, takes one look, and he's like, nope, and he just gets right out of there, which is so funny to me. You can summon real players to help you, but you can't ride your horse when you do so, and it's basically necessary, so it kind of encourages you to do the way the game intended, just to have like all of these different characters trying to beat up this one gigantic dude. So even from the first moments you enter the stage, he starts shooting arrows at you, and they're just like insane bolts that go the speed of light, or these like ones that rain down from heaven on you and you have to outrun them. You have to put in work even just to reach this guy. He's all the way across the field. Every single hit this guy does packs a giant wallop. He's crazy fast because he can somehow ride on this tiny donkey thing, and he can take down numerous guys at once. All this army that you brought in with you, it doesn't matter. He's just taking them out one by one. And then about halfway through, he yeets out of there, and you're like, where'd he go? And you're looking around, Then you see this tiny meteor coming right at you, and he just blows you into oblivion. Honestly, I feel like this is a new high for the series. Like, it's just so hard to match the epicness and just the comedy of it at the same time. It's this incredible package and such a satisfying fight. But there's so much more going on behind the scenes, especially once you understand the lore behind this guy. So this guy was a powerful general, right? And he's fighting against Melania, and they sort of hit like a stalemate, and so Melania launches this giant bomb, essentially, of scarlet rot. That's why all of Caelid and everything is just so, like, dead and red from all the scarlet rot, and even he himself has become cursed with scarlet rot as well. That's why he's, like, not his usual self, right? But he still has retained enough of himself to just be, like, this epic warrior, and that's why they hold this festival, to, like, give him a fitting farewell, you know, of, like, if we can actually finally kill him, it would be the way he would want, just like this epic battle, basically. All those arrows he was shooting at you were actually spikes from his back from that previous battle. And this is super interesting. He became a master of gravity magic. One, so that he doesn't hurt his little tiny horse that he rides on, which is super adorable. It's like his best friend. But also because General Radahn is quite literally holding the stars in the sky by gravity magic, as so that it would stop, you know, meteors from falling out into the earth. But then, of course, he also uses that same gravity magic to pummel your face in. And this is an awesome little detail where if you listen to his introduction and learn that he, you know, succumbed to scarlet rot, it's like, okay, well, what if I hit him with scarlet rot arrows or magic? And that's a great way that you can come in to chip away at his health. He's very, like, sensitive to scarlet rot. And that's actually how I ended up beating him, was just, like, resummoning as much help as I possibly could and trying to hit him with scarlet rot, because he's so stinking hard to face just one-on-one. And once I finally overcame him, it was like, wow, I really truly felt that was a worthy adversary, right? Like, this was a fighter that should be celebrated. And even cooler, after you beat him, this unprecedented event occurs where a meteor strikes down on the earth and breaks open part of the world to reveal a new section of the underground city to explore, and it's just unreal. Overall, the whole experience makes this one of the most foundational and memorable bosses in the entire game. He's not even required at all, but this was easily my favorite highlight of playing through Elden Ring. And honestly, it's just a great example of all the other insane things that this game has to offer. If you've been playing through Elden Ring, what's your favorite part that you've experienced so far? It doesn't even have to be a boss fight in particular, there's so much to explore. Just tell me your favorite thing you've experienced. In retrospect, I still am just in awe at the scope of this project. I mean, FromSoft always delivers quality titles, but never on this scale, and it is just unbelievably impressive that they pulled it off, and it's as great as it really is. So hopefully that was just a fun little homage for you of just one of my favorite parts of the game, and I think that's what's so cool about it, is every player is going to experience it differently. Because it's such a massive open world, you can go experience things at different levels or different parts of your journey, and it's really going to be a unique experience for you. So if you haven't played it yet, I obviously can't recommend Elden Ring enough. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay frosty, my friends.